The heart of the Ganimede system is its funnel diaphragm, which can be used in a flexible, intelligent fashion owing to the programmed opening and closing of a strategic bypass. Here's how. Once the bypass is closed, the tank is filled. During filling, the must does not enter the cavity between the diaphragm and outer shell, as the closed bypass prevents the air inside from escaping, hence stopping the cavity from flooding. Meanwhile, marc rises to the top, forming the cap. The air in the cavity is gradually supplanted by carbon dioxide generated by fermentation. Once the chamber is saturated, excess gas starts to surface, passing through the diaphragm, mixing the marc and encouraging seeds to fall under their own weight. Opening the bypass, the enormous quantity of gas that has collected in the cavity is discharged directly through the marc. This vigorous, even mixing thus prevents preferential channels from forming, which would otherwise be followed by the must, and stops the cap from hardening. Meanwhile, seeds continue to gather on the bottom. Once all the gas has been allowed to escape, the cavity is flooded with must. The marc, which has been mixed and saturated with liquid, makes its way back to the surface, draining and surrendering its substances to the must. The bypass is closed again, and a large amount of seeds can be deported through the discharge valve. Fermentation gas again builds up in the cavity, and the must is thus pushed upwards, whilst the marc, more and more of which rises to the top, still soaked with liquid, continues to surrender its substances to the must. Once the cavity is saturated, the gas bursts to the surface, mixing the marc evenly and energetically. When the bypass is then reopened, this and other technological cycles can be repeated, depending on the grapes used and the types of maceration and fermentation decided on. Ganimede's enviable versatility means all these phases are possible even when no fermentation is in progress, thanks to the use of gas introduced into the cavity from an external source.